There he is. He's right there.
Everybody right there.
Good evening, everybody. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. I am John Weingart. I am not the council president. I am not the council vice president. They both aren't here tonight, so they've asked me to fill in. I'm also wishing our council president, Cecilia Coble, to get well soon. She is home convalescing. She slipped and fell, unfortunately, and also has COVID. So I did talk to her today. She sounded pretty good for what she's going through, and she's able to get out of bed, and so just ask you, thoughts and prayers for her and what she's going through, and hopefully she'll be back soon. The other thing I will say just very briefly is, as you probably are all aware, what happened over the weekend, and it's election season, and what happened was kind of brought forth, as we all are elected officials here, and thinking about this process we're going through, and it's great to have good debate, good discussion, but at the end of the day, we're all Americans. We all should come together as one. I hope we all do that here in the city of Fishers, and I think we do that now as a council and with the mayor, and certainly our thoughts and prayers with the family of the gentleman who was killed and the two other folks that are injured is also as well the Donald Trump, the presidential candidate, that was also nipped as well. So certainly ask we take that and take a deep breath and realize this is what, good democracy is having good, hard debate, but also at the end of the day, we sit down and come together as fellow Americans and move the country forward in a positive manner. So I hope we all take that into consideration. We have no announcements, no proclamations, but we do have some presentations. The first one, HSE Boys Lacrosse State Champions.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Scott Beasley. I'm the head coach of the Hillman Southeastern Boys Lacrosse program. And I actually am going to let one of our senior captains speak today. He was class president, did a tremendous job speaking at our mini ceremony that we had at commencement. And so without further ado, number 9, senior Braden Myers is going to come up and talk to us.
First off, thank you guys for this opportunity today. It's a blessing. Man, when I think about how we got here today, I honestly think back to the first moment of the entire season. It was just a winter workout. We hadn't even had one practice yet, and one of our coaches, Coach Mike O'Rourke, who is our defensive coordinator, had us all write down our goal for the season. He's like, hey, everybody come up to the whiteboard, and I want you to write it down. Don't talk to anybody. Don't see what anybody puts. Every single person on our team wrote down state champion. And we're all thinking, great answer. But really, he's like, this is the start. Being a state champion is not the finish, it's the start. And he goes, I want you guys to go back up there and write down some things that can make you state champions. And a word that came up and was wrote big right in the middle was the word elite. It's used a lot, but people don't really talk about it all that much. And so he made us look up the definition of elite. And when you read the definition, it's a select group that is superior or different than the rest. And he really highlighted the word different, because in order for us to win the state championship, we have to be different than the other 21 teams that we play against. And so he said, in order to be different, you have to do something different. And that really stuck and resonated with me throughout the season. I tried to work hard, have more mental toughness, try to do everything I possibly could to be different, but it didn't hit me until we'd won the state championship and I was holding up the trophy that I realized what was actually different about this program. It has nothing to do, yes, hard work and mental toughness is important, but it really comes down to two things. The first being our community. The parents, the students, the athletes, everyone that comes and supports us, who are a part of this community because of what you guys do to continue this community to be successful. We have the best parents and the best students. I'll give you an example. In order for us to make it to state championship, we actually had to play at Cathedral, which is a private school. We all know what Cathedral is. We had to go there. They were ranked number 2 at the time. We were number 3. And in order to make it to the state championship, we had to go to their place and beat them. We pulled into the parking lot, and instantly, we look out the windows, and all of our parents, students that go to our school, all of our friends had our flag up. They were playing music, tailgating. And I remember getting off the bus, looking at one of my best friends who I grew up with and said, "This is our field. This is our field. This isn't theirs." And we had 3 times more fans they did at their place. Then we go to the state championship. We get a police escort there, which was really cool. I could use that more often. But, yeah, maybe get less speeding tickets. Well,
Don't think every time you drive those lights.
yeah, I know, yeah. I like them in the front, not in the back. So, yeah. Well, anyway, we get there, and it's pouring down rain, but yet again, even though we were playing Carmel, who's got way more kids than we do because we have our high school split, we had more fans than they did. Yet again, louder. Every time we scored, it was an erupt. Every time they scored, it was like, whatever, right? And so, but I would be naive to only highlight our community because, as we know, there's 2 schools in our community, and if it was just based on who had the best community, it'd be Fishers versus HSC every year, but it's not. Because what they don't have that we do, even though all the amenities and everything's the same, the one thing they don't have is the people inside of our locker room. Our coaching staff, Coach Beasley has put together not a team, but a program. And by that I mean it's not a one-year thing. We don't have talent, right? I just started playing. I'm not that good. But really, it's my teammates, it's the people around us who built this team. We've been in every state championship since 2018. And it's because of the program that he's built. And the last thing I'll leave with is this. For the people that know me, there's nothing I hate more than losing. Truly, there's not. But when it got to the end of the season, it had nothing to do with I didn't want to lose anymore. It was that I wanted to spend one more game with my teammates, with my brothers that we fought through all season. And we got to go as far as we could, and we got to celebrate and party on the field together to finish it. So I would like to thank all my teammates for that opportunity, my parents for putting me in this area, and thank you for you guys for the opportunity to tell the story.
Thank you. Good job.
So, John, if you could join me down here, and if all of our HSC boys lacrosse team, if you could come on down here, we have a small token of appreciation, then we'd love to grab a picture with you guys. So, come on down.
Let's go 2 rows. When you get your certificate, let's go 2 rows.
Our next presentation this evening is for another group of state champions, our HSC girls softball state champions. Ladies, congratulations.
Good evening. Thanks for having us this evening. My name is Coach Emily Pusty, and I am the head coach of the Hamilton Southeastern Softball Program. And this evening, I have two senior graduates that are going to speak on behalf of our program. We've got Megan Winsack and Reese Garland.
Hi, we would first like to say thank you for everyone coming out tonight to celebrate this amazing accomplishment. Not only is this accomplishment about us girls, but it's about every single one of us in this room. Not only do we have the privilege to play for an amazing high school, but we have the privilege to play for an amazing community. Now, a perfect example of that would be the 5 little girls that sat behind us at the state game. Now, they were decked out in HSC gear with their HSC signs in hand, and hey, we might not know them, but they knew us, and that's what makes this sport and this community so special. Of course, we play for each other, our coaches, and we support the Royals, but the biggest privilege of all was to play for this amazing community, and we cannot thank you guys enough.
Now, as Meg said, and I'm sure we speak for all the softball girls when we say it, we just want to give a big thank you to everyone as we've received so much support, not only this season, but all the years leading up to it. Now we have some specific thank yous we'd like to give. Our friends came out every game to cheer us on and support us when no one else was showing up if we needed them. And then we also want to thank our parents for all the love and support they've given us, not only this season, but the many years of softball leading up. Now also our coaches who have supported us all season and never doubted us for a second. Now, the state title is a great accomplishment for all of us girls, but also for everyone in the community, as we could not have done it without the support of every single one of you. Now, we'd like to give one last thank you tonight for coming out to support us and celebrate all together. Thank you.
Girls softball, you guys want to come down, join us? Athletes and parents, you do not have to stay for the council meeting if you don't want to. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? Congratulations. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate you helping us. I know the gym.
Yeah.
Trying to get connected. I think they got us a spot.
Yeah, I was bummed that we were having you here.
This spot. We will get it scheduled.
We'd love to have you here.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
Anything you guys need, just let us know. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
It was a good year.
Dominant. Strong.
Councilman Weingart, as they exit, Elliot Hulker and I were just reminiscing over the last year. I don't think we're going to get this all correct, but one of our high schools was in here for at least, they were the volleyball state champions, girls softball state champions, lacrosse boys champions, I believe boys basketball state champions. The robotics team placed, I believe, in the nationals. We the People placed in the nationals. And I'm probably missing 2 or 3 other accomplishments as teams, but really and we marched in the Macy's Day Parade and Thanksgiving. It's really extraordinary when you take stock of what our 2 high schools are doing in our junior high. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, their accomplishments, not only on the field, but off the field.
Absolutely.
And to be able to do that with split school,
Yeah, right.
bringing all of them together, they're 2 different schools, so.
Well, we'll keep printing certificates if they want to keep winning.
Yeah, is Tiffany online?
Unfortunately, we're not able to get her to connect. She's trying, but I suspect there's so many people up there at the convention that they're all fighting for bandwidth.
Okay.
I'm working with her, but she's not on at the moment.
Well, we do not need her to have a quorum to vote, so unless she comes online, just let me know, because we'll have to roll call vote everything if she's online with us.
Understood.
Okay? Moving on to committee reports. Finance Committee, we did meet this evening for a brief bit. Items on the consent agenda that we recommend for approval tonight, item 9B, item 10A, and also item 10B. We are also recommend that we suspend the rules and pass in first reading. Moving on, do I have a motion to approve? The Health Department reports, I believe, is attached as well. Saw that in our packet today. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve, I think that's the first time I've been able to do that in a few years.
So I have a motion by Todd, a second by Bill. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Oh, we need to
We do have one abstention for John, so we've got the minute. I'm sorry, we're just going to approve the minutes. Moving on to item 7B, authorize the Recorder to transfer certain funds. I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Todd, second by Selena. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Items 1, 2, 3, and 4. Item 10A, request to approve additional appropriation for the Health Department. And this does require a public hearing, correct?
Yes. For the record, Lisa Radford, City Controller. The item before you relates to an additional appropriation for our local health department related to a contract item that was previously in the general fund budget that was determined it should be paid for by the health department. Didn't have the funding at the time in the annual approved 2024 budget, so this additional appropriation allows the health department to pay for that contract. They have plenty of cash reserves on hand to pay this additional appropriation if they so need to. Okay. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Lisa? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Selena, do I have a second? Second by Bill. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Well, sorry, we have to have a public hearing.
Yeah.
I apologize, I said that, I didn't even do it. At this point, I will open up for a public hearing. Anybody wishing to come forward, please state your name and address for the record. I apologize. Seeing that no one's come forward, I'll close the public hearing. I'll let the vote stand. Moving on to item B, request to approve amendment to the 2023 GO bond.
Thank you. The item before you relates to the 2023 one-year annual general obligation bond. As you may recall, when we approved the bond ordinance, what is listed in the bond ordinance is a description of the projects and anticipated funding. So the 2023 GO bond had allocations related to trail improvements, road improvement projects, and some potential sewer infrastructure work. It has come out in the past few months that we need to reallocate the money that was put to the sewer potential work for road projects. And so on the recommendation of bond council, we're just bringing this forward to kind of reallocate and shift the funds. these are not anything close to the controlled project limits, but it just helps with our trustee for the bonds to show that these are all approved uses under the bond ordinance. Because it's simply a modification, we're asking to suspend the rules and pass on first reading.
Okay. Any questions for Lisa on this item?
Motion to suspend the rules?
I have a motion by Selena to suspend the rules. Do I have a second? Second by Todd. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Selena, second by Todd. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you, Lisa. Moving on to item 11. Yes?
So you're aware Tiffany is on call
Okay.
now. She's joined us.
All right. We will go forward, and any votes we have going forward, we'll do a roll call vote, okay? Item 10, R071524B, a request to approve an economic development agreement.
Thank you. For the record, Megan Baumgartner, Director of Community and Economic Development. I have another exciting life science project to bring before you tonight for consideration, and this one is for an existing company, Incog Biopharma. Incog, we first announced them coming to Fishers. They were 3 entrepreneurs who had extensive history and experience in the pharmaceutical manufacturing space and decided, just like many of the entrepreneurs here in Fishers, just at a much different scale, to create a new business. So just a quick refresher and to demonstrate where they are within the pharmaceutical development and manufacturing process. This is the image that we used last time. So there's 2 different phases. First phase is drug discovery and development, and then the second phase is once it becomes commercialized and approved. So where Incog is currently, again, drug discovery, that's something that's done by the Lillys or the Pfizers. And then once those drugs are developed and there is a preclinical strategy for it, they will go through their clinical trials. As part of that, they have to do small batch manufacturing of those vaccines or drugs. Incog currently today provides the fill finish for the clinical stage of the drug development process, so nothing on the commercial side. With this expansion, they're going to go into the full commercial side. So once a drug has gone through clinical trials, is approved by the FDA, they are now going to, with this expansion, be able to provide commercial and much larger batches of drugs. So again, showing on that continuum of where they are in this process, they are now adding to this larger ecosystem in Fishers of what services within the contract manufacturing space can be provided here in Fishers. Just a refresher of what their first project entailed. So again, in 2020, they made a commitment for a $60 million investment. Actual total investment was north of $90 million. They planned on building a 50,000 square foot building, ended up building about a 90,000 square foot building. The great thing about this space off of Exit 5 Parkway is that they always knew that they had room for expansion. They committed to 150 employees by the end of 2024. In the abatement and compliance that you approved this month, they were at 97 employees. And this number I thought was really telling. They had committed to an average salary of $83,000 for those 150 jobs, and right now with those 97, almost $120,000 for the average salary. So pretty significant impact to our community. And as part of that previous project, we had provided a personal property tax abatement as well. So with this expansion, again, they plan to add the commercial filling capacity within their space. They think that there's also some opportunities within the drug delivery devices, similar to what Project Horseshoe was able, or what we discussed last month. They plan on a $40 million investment. About $18 million of that will be in personal property, another 100,000 square feet of the building expansion, and 325 total employees by 2029. Average salary within this space, it's not as highly technical, but still great wages at $35 an hour for the average hourly, not salary. And similar to the incentive that we had provided them last time, we were requesting a 13-year personal property tax abatement at 100% of that. Over the 13 years, if you use that $18 million in standard depreciation, that's about $2.1 million in value to Incog. Important, though, obviously, for council to be able to demonstrate the value that these companies are providing to our community with their existing building. And again, this doesn't contemplate any of their personal property since that's been abated. Their land and has been increased pretty significantly. So annual taxes that they're paying on that building are $254,000 right now. With this expansion, it'll be a little bit larger, so more taxes will be generated on that building. So total annual taxes, $484,000, sorry, added an extra two, are what the community would see with that. Unfortunately, INCOG, none of their representatives were able to come tonight, but I know that if any of you have met with them, and hopefully you have and can in the future, they're so appreciative of the partnership that we've provided. But Scott and I really could not be where we're at within our life science industry and growing that cluster here without those three individuals. They have been incredible advocates and partners for us. So we're excited to support them on this future expansion and happy to answer any questions.
I just want to chime in real quickly and put an exclamation point on Megan's comments. Corey Lewis, Ted Green, the whole team there. Stevanato would not be here if it wasn't for INCOG. Other life science opportunities that Megan and I are currently pursuing would not be there. They are tireless advocates for the city of Fishers and what we're trying to create around life sciences, and they've gone well beyond anything that would be required of them to make sure that Fishers is being put on the map when it comes to life sciences, and we've just been really grateful for their help in that regard.
Any questions for Megan? First, to know kind of what the multiplier effect of having these businesses. It's not just this, it's construction jobs and other ancillary. I mean, there's other things that benefit our community just them being here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't know if that's ever something we've ever tried to.
Yeah, I'm sure we absolutely could. But the expansion with this of the commercial stage, I mean, they were bringing in companies and clients from around the world at just the clinical stage. But now that they're in this larger commercial space, this is the big companies who have FDA approval. And so we're able to highlight and spotlight Fishers from even just a tourism perspective, get additional exposure that way. So there are a ton of benefits that you can't articulate or capture in the assessed value and taxes that way, but you're exactly right, John.
Great job. Do I have a motion to approve?
I have a question, Mr. President.
Sure, Bill.
I think this is great. I think you're doing a great job. These are exactly the type of jobs we need in Fishers, and I applaud you. I just have a question on the taxes. I see 484 owed, one extra two there.
Yeah.
I've forgotten my public finance classes. Walk me through the abatements.
Sure.
What are we not abating the property taxes? What are we abating?
So we're abating the personal property. So so that's any of the equipment that's inside of the building. So
Okay.
all of their manufacturing equipment, and it's $18 million. And so the lines that they're bringing in for this really are the costs of all of these life science companies. And so the value of those assessed, or how we capture taxes on their personal property, there's standard deductions that all companies take for equipment and personal property. So this assumes like I think it's a Schedule 4 depreciation where it bottoms out at year 5 at 30% of the value of that property. So the $2.1 million that they're going to receive the value of over that 13 years, that contemplates, I think it's $200,000 or maybe $150,000 per year of just the property. So in these charts, the land accounts for their entire property. I would assume that we would see an increase in the land assessed value when additional improvements are built on top of some of the 17 acres that's still left. So then we take our tax rate of 2.2011% by the improvements. The $104 a square foot is based off of INCOG's current assessed value of their building. And that's where we got the $9.37 million. So that's how we got to those numbers.
It's coming back to me, thank you.
Sure.
So, and the abatement's gonna last for?
13 years.
13 years, thank you.
Yep, and they have, I believe, 3 years to make the purchase. So if in year 4 they do a $5 million line installation, they wouldn't get the value of that full 13 years. It would just be those first 3 or 4 years of the abatement.
And would the number of jobs and the average salaries affect that?
So
if
it
they
would-
don't meet those?
Yeah, so in the annual compliance, there's the typical clawbacks that we have in there for abatement, so that would be reflected in whatever they don't come back. So you would see that in the annual reports, and that 97 jobs is what was approved last month. But if by 2029 they did not meet that commitment, then it would go back through our normal abatement compliance hearing that council would oversee.
Great job.
Thank you.
Go get more jobs like that.
Thank you.
Other questions?
I just want to make a comment. Megan, I really appreciate the way that you outline and highlight the ecosystem of what is being developed here in Fishers. And I think you're doing a great job at that. I love the way that you explain it to us. So I just want to say thank you.
Sure. It's exciting.
Anything else?
And we
Entertain a
hope for
motion to-
Project Horseshoe that probably within the next month or so that we'll be able to finalize that. So we got some good news. So stay tuned hopefully on that one.
Good.
Names for these different projects.
I did not come up with this one. Sometimes I get to, but I didn't with this one.
SBF is my favorite, so.
Right.
Do you have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion approved.
Motion by Todd, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Selena. We have to do roll call vote.
Celia Koval, absent. Pete Peterson, absent. John Weingart.
Aye.
Brad DeReamer.
Aye.
Selena Stoller.
Aye.
Todd Zimmerman.
Aye.
John DeLucia.
Aye.
Tiffany Ditlevson. And Bill Stewart.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Passes. Great job, Megan, thank you. Moving on to the regular general government and miscellaneous, item 11, 07-15248, an amendment, section 3205 of the City of Fishers Code, Health Department. Good evening, Jake.
Good evening, Council. Jake Reardon McSoley, Director of Recreation and Wellness for the City of Fishers, for the record. And tonight we are asking for your consideration for an amendment to our Code of Ordinance, specifically dealing with our Health Department, and in that the qualifications for our health officer. When this code was originally enacted in 2020, it reflected the current state law at that time, which did specify that our health officer had to be a licensed physician. That has since changed. In the 2023 legislative session, it has now been broadened to include not only licensed physicians, but other individuals with certain qualifications. And so for tonight, we would ask for your consideration to amend this with the current state law and just bring it up to those standards. There is some timeliness to this, and I believe this is a first reading. And if possible, I think we would request a full exclusion of the rules and for a full approval tonight if
We can
possible.
suspend this?
We can.
Okay. Any questions for Jake?
Motion to suspend the rules?
A motion by Selena to suspend the rules. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Todd.
Just go ahead and have.
We'll go on the roll call vote, please.
John Weingart.
Aye.
Brad DeReamer. Selena Stoller.
Aye.
Todd Zimmerman.
Aye.
John DeLucia. Tiffany Ditlevson. Bill Stewart. Motion passes.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Selena. Do I have a second? Second by Todd. Do a roll call vote again.
John Weingart.
Aye.
Brad DeReamer.
Aye.
Selena Stoller.
Aye.
Todd Zimmerman.
Aye.
John DeLucia.
Aye.
Tiffany Ditlevson. Bill Stewart.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Jake. Moving on to item 12B, R071524C, a request to approve an interlocal agreement. Hey, Mickey. How are you?
Good, how's everyone doing? Hello, Hatem Meki, City of Fishers Engineering Department, and before you is an interlocal agreement with Hamilton County for the median landscapes. As you are all aware, there's a big push from our Department of Public Works to get all of our medians landscaped and looking very nice and beautiful for everyone here in the residents of the City of Fishers. In addition to there are a couple of areas that are under Hamilton County jurisdiction. For example, Olio Road corridor is under Hamilton County, and also a section of our gateway on the west side on 116th Street from the bridge over to Eller Road. These are all Hamilton County jurisdiction. This interlocal agreement grants us use and operation within these jurisdictions and gets us to operate and maintain all of the new landscaping that we are constructing there. So this is just looking for your approval and happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Hatem?
Yeah, team, have you guys had a chance, I sent you some problemed area that we're putting trees in and blocking views. We want to be
Yes.
careful with that.
Yes, our Department of Public Works, Eric Steiner, is looking into that as of yesterday and today.
Because I've got 2 or 3 that saying, I can't see now that you put the trees up.
Yeah, I think it's more the ground cover bushes for myself in the picture you sent, and I think Eric Steiner is all over that and should get it cleaned up
Yeah,
shortly.
we want to be careful. We're going to cause a problem here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Just to try to look nice.
100%. Agreed.
Other questions? Do a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Selena, do I have a second? Second by Todd.
Second.
We'll go ahead and do the roll call vote.
John Weingart,
Aye.
Brad DeReamer,
Aye.
Selena Stoller. Aye. Todd Zimmerman. Aye. John DeLucia. Tiffany Ditlevson. Aye. Bill Stewart.
Passed.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on, there's no items. Any unfinished or new business? If not, we'll open up to community comment. Please come forward and state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor, staff. It's been a while since I've been up here. I've had a few health challenges, but I'm back. For those of you who might have forgotten who I am, or for the new council members, my name is Mike Colby. I'm a longtime resident of Fishers. I'm up here tonight to talk about my favorite subject. Anyone want to guess?
Oh, it's gotta be roads.
Yes, private roads. Mr. Mayor, we have a meeting with you this Wednesday afternoon, I believe at 3 o'clock. That will be on our agenda if you would be able to give us some information on. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Mike. Yeah, never thought that'd be on the agenda, huh?
That has to be the quickest Mike Colby.
I know.
You have a lot of time left, Mike. Do you know anything? Sorry, everyone.
I can tell you a joke. There were these 2 brothers that got up early one Saturday morning. One was 5 and the other was 4. And the 5-year-old says, I think I'll cuss today. And the 4-year-old says, well, so will I. So in a little bit, the mother comes downstairs and she takes him in the kitchen. And she looks at the 5-year-old and says, what do you want for breakfast this morning? Pancakes, waffles, cereal? And the 5-year-old says, oh, what the hell? Give me some pancakes. So she turns to the 4-year-old and she says, what do you want for breakfast? He said, well, you can bet I'm not asking for pancakes. I cleaned that up.
You did. That was really good. Anybody else wishing to come forward, please? Oh, Bob.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, thank you. Good evening, Mayor Fadness, council members. I'm Robert Evans, 10707 Burning Ridge Lane. I'm the current president of the Quaker Ridge Homeowners Association. And I cannot thank Mayor Fadness, Councilman Weingart, and Engineer Mickey enough for the fact that we think we're going to get Burning Ridge Lane and the west side of Quaker Ridge Court repaved. However, there's been a sign out there that says no parking on the street on or after June 21st for the last 3.5 weeks. And no one's been out to do anything except draw a couple of arrows. Now, a week before last, our vice president called a paving contractor, and they eventually had the project manager call them back, and they said, we will be out next week, mid or late next week, to start the project. That would have been last week. Today, our vice president called a paving contractor, and they said they would have the project manager call him back, which did not happen. So we don't know what's going on. So if part of the objective of this project is to keep the community uninformed, it's going really well. So we'd kind of like to know, when is this project going to start? Engineer Mackey?
Yeah, these are all part of our resurfacing packages. We will get with the project manager on the contractor side. Sometimes they have to jump from one area to the other, so sometimes, obviously, with the weather that came in, that delays some of their schedules. But we'll get with the contractor and get exactly when they can come into the neighborhood and all of that. So we apologize that they didn't get back with you.
And would you let me know? Because I sent out an email to my homeowners and said, the contractor said they'll be here next week.
We apologize for the miscommunication, but we'll definitely get back to you on that one as far as the schedule goes.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
They're not unlike other contractors that say 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
So,
But we'll get on them.
in the movie, the money pit.
Yeah, that's right. 2 more weeks, it'll be done.
Thank you, Bob. Anybody else wishing to come forward? All right. So motion to adjourn. Motion by Todd, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by, who made second?
I did.
Selena, okay. Good. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Have a great week.